Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking about every single one of the possible proof dime errors, and these are all for the Clad ones, so 1965 up to today, and really it's 1968 up to today. But you really want to know these, all of the attributable ones, and the way we'll do it is I've got clear photos of each of these errors. I'll talk you through it, and I'll have values right below so that you have the complete picture as to how you should be cherry picking your coins and proof sets in terms of these Clad dimes. Let's get right into the presentation. And our first error is going to be a 1968 Double Die Obverse, and this one is going to be seen with strong spreading in the I, in the B to the right of those letters, as well as in the In God We Trust, where there's some notable separation kind of in the tops of each of the letters in the inside of the O and the D as well. But I think the best place to look for it is going to be in the LIB of Liberty, just seeing it spread to the right. Proof 65 is a $300 coin, and Proof 67 is a $550 one. So while they're pretty rare, all of these are pretty rare, definitely not an insignificant value. There's also a separate doubling where it's going to be seen in the In God We Trust more from a left to right spread. You can see it in the I, in the O, but then there's also probably the best place to see it is in the designer's initials to the left of the date. There's very strong double bars in the J. This one, Proof 66 is $100, Proof 68 is $350, and Proof 69 Cameo was sold for $600. So again, not something you want to skip over. There's also a repunched mint mark on this coin, so plenty of different places to be checking out here, but the S will be kind of protruding to the right. That's kind of the more acknowledged one. The S seems to be stamped again to the right of the coin, with values between $100 and $250. But on the right here, this one I don't actually see the repunching quite as well, but it was in the photos. I think that there's a little bit kind of below to the south and kind of inside of the loops of the S. Still something good to be looking for though. And then there's also a double die reverse. So when you flip over the coin, you can see it's not super obvious, but there is a little bit of notching in the E. You can see the first and second notches there. In the T, also in the dime, we see a little bit in the bottom of the I. So not a super apparent one, also in the E. Not super apparent compared to some of the other ones, but there's still between $50 and $600 of value here, so you want to look for it. As is another one I can only find one price result that was $250 for Proof 66, but again, top of the E has a notch, a little bit in the S as well. Again, not, I keep on repeating this, but some are at varying degrees of how easy it is to tell. The no S is going to be a lot easier to tell, and that's when there's literally no S instead of repunching or anything like that. They just forgot to punch the S mint mark. All of these coins from 1968 and onward were supposed to be minted at San Francisco, so they'd all have S mints, and a number of them simply did not get that S mint mark. This one sells for between $17,000 and $30,000, so you really want to check. There's no shortage there of things to check for, but there's also in the 1970 the same error, though there were a lot more of these made, and they're worth between $500 and $5,000, as well as the one in the future that we'll be talking about, but 1970 is a good one to look for. And then there's a 1975 S Roosevelt repunched mint mark. You can see the split kind of in the bottom of the top of the S, and it's pretty apparent relative to some of the other ones we've seen. Proof 67 is about $100, Proof 68 Cameo $225, Proof 69 Deep Cam $900, and the most valuable, probably modern coin out there, maybe outside of the no S Eisenhower dollar, is the 1975 no S. So in addition to 1968 and 1970, you want to check all your 1975 proof sets. Make sure that there's none of these no S 1975 coins. One recently sold for $450,000. I think two total have been discovered, but they're very rare. But that brings us to the conclusion. So a shorter presentation of errors, but nonetheless, very good to be aware of these ones that are out there. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me on my website, treasuretownYT.com, Facebook, TreasureTown, Instagram, @TreasureTownYT, or Twitter, @TreasureTown_YT, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my future vids.